My cousin is having a baby, and it got me thinking, as a first-time mum, what advice would I give her, first-time mama to first-time mama? If you're new here, I'm Emmy, and today I'm sharing that information with you. I'm sat in the little play area because it's currently my favourite place in the house. The baby's asleep. If you are new here, she's 10.5 months right now. I don't know how long she's going to give me, so we can only hope and pray that she lets me get through this video. Vince, Daddy, has been looking after her today, so I don't actually know how long she's been asleep for, but he's gone to the supermarket now. And also, it's really windy here today, and the wind keeps setting her camera off. Annoying. A little bit of background story is that Maidie was born 8 weeks early, so we did miss that kind of last bit of pregnancy where you get to kind of figure out all these things. I assume. I haven't done it, I don't know, but I feel like I missed that last 8 weeks of researching. So I kept saying to myself, I'm going to put it off, I've got time to figure it all out. I hadn't even got my hospital bag packed before she came. So as a mama of a NICU baby, it means that I didn't get the first 3 weeks at home. I only got the time post NICU. So we'd gone through a bit of a transition and a bit of a shockwave, a bit of a different start to Maidie's life. But once we got home, these are the things that I wish somebody had told me, and some during NICU as well. My biggest one, actually, and this is the first thing that I thought of when I was making this video, is that everybody always says to you, oh, just you wait until this and just you wait until that. And even during pregnancy, just you wait until the baby's here, or just you wait until they're calling, or just you wait until this. For me, personally, every single stage has been better than the last. Every time someone said to me, just you wait until this bit, I have found that bit more enjoyable, more rewarding, more everything than I have the previous points. Especially now that she's up and moving and interacting, I struggled the most with the very first bit of newborn stage when I couldn't move because she was always led on me. She didn't sleep very well. The house was always chaos. That was the bit that I struggled with probably the most out of everything. And for me, it actually gets better the older she gets. So everyone's scaremongering you into thinking that everything's gonna fall apart and your world's gonna get worse and every stage is just gonna be harder and harder and harder. Don't listen to them. Don't listen. Number 2, outfits before 3 months, pointless. While I was pregnant, I bought all these cute little dresses and bits and bobs and all these cute little jumpers and cardigans and just stuff that she would look extra cute in. She literally didn't wear any of it. She might have worn it once or twice. For the first 3 months of her life, she lived in sleepsuits. Footless for the day, footed for the night, nothing else. Also, everyone raves about Zips sleepsuits. I hate them. Give me a set of poppers anytime, any day. Vince prefers the zip ones because it's just quicker to do up, but I think they must be just so uncomfortable on them. You've got this big zip that folds in weird places, if they don't 100% fit in it across their front. No, give me a popper any day of the week. Something that really shocked me was the amount of bibs we went through. She was quite refluxy when she was little, and at 10.5 months now we don't use bibs at all. We must have 50 bibs, and still Vince was constantly doing washing, and we'd get to the end and we'd be like, there's no bibs left. There's no bibs. They've all gone. We've run out of bibs. We just picked some packs up from Amazon. They're all linked in my Amazon storefront below. Muslins are the same. So we must have a big stack of muzzies that just go in the wash regularly. Again, we don't really use them now. And I found the big ones to be completely pointless. The smaller square ones and the shoulder ones that are an oblong shape. They were so useful. We'd have one on our laps, sometimes on our shoulders. She'd have one with her just all the time because, like I said, she was pretty refluxy. So we bought 2 big packs. We probably had 30 muzzies, 50 bibs, and they were always in rotation. This one's an interesting one because I have never been a big fan of leaving the house anyway, but leaving the house felt like the biggest, scariest thing possible. I thought it was because of NICU, but talking to other people since, especially for the first couple of times by yourself, leaving the house with this tiny little bundle of baby that you've got to keep protected and you're worried about anything and everything, especially in the winter, it felt literally impossible. I started by we did for one of the very first times a Christmas fair. Don't ask me why we did this. One of the first places we went was a Christmas fair. I was so filled with anxiety the whole time. I didn't enjoy it. I was putting too much pressure on myself. Everybody wanted to see her. We knew loads of people there, so everybody was talking to me. I wanted to run away. My advice is to just really start slowly and put no pressure on yourself. Don't plan any big events. Don't plan any big things. Just go slow, day by day, and take it one step at a time. It does get easier, I promise you. It will feel like you're taking the whole world with you on your first 2 trips out, but you slowly will know what they do and don't need per trip, and you'll slowly be able to reduce that down, take smaller bags, understand what you need. Talking about anxiety, that I felt anxiety throughout my whole body. And even now at 10.5 months, my body still doesn't fully feel like my own. We stopped breastfeeding around 6 months. I have a video that you can watch on that. But I don't feel like me. I still don't. My body is in a very different shape and feeling, and it's got different hanging bits and squidgy bits and stuff that just doesn't feel like me anymore. It is slowly but surely becoming the norm, and I'll never go back to the body that I was in before because that's impossible. I've grown a baby, but I am slowly starting to come back to myself and understanding that this is the body I live in now. And I would say do not put any pressure on yourself, because you have this like, oh, you'll bounce back, you'll be fine. And you're kind of expecting yourself to kind of bounce back. I've never had a great relationship with my body anyway, but I expect it to pretty quickly feel like I did before. I didn't. Take the pressure off, accept your new body, learn to love yourself in a new way. Talking about breastfeeding, we pumped. This is one of my biggest regrets during Maidie's first few months of life. We didn't have a great breastfeeding journey to start with, and the things that I regret: 1, pumping too much. So I had this insane oversupply of milk, and then when it started to level out, I freaked out, which then made me stop altogether in the end. She wouldn't latch, and we used a nipple shield on advice from the doctors, but I actually think that for our journey wasn't the right thing to do, and I wish I'd gone to see a lactation consultant, and I wish I'd tried harder to make that happen. But when you're in those moments and it feels like your baby's just screaming for food and she's starting to reject your milk and all of these things, like, you've just got to get them fed. I would say always have formula in the house for emergencies, because the last thing you need is a hungry baby, and fed is best no matter what the situation. Just feed them. But I wish I'd taken a step back, tried to get out of my own head, and actually gone to see a consultant. I would say you just don't need half the stuff that we had. We had Moses basket, we had pram basket, we had rocker, we just don't need it all. I would say don't buy everything at first. The first thing you need is just a crib that goes bedside. She didn't sleep in a Moses basket once. Actually, the best thing that she slept in was her pram carrier, so we used that by the bed. We probably got more use out of that pram carry cot than we got out of anything else that she had. She hated the wraps. She only ever used the fabric ones when she was really little. She hates going in them. She still hates it now. So I've got 2, one for me and one for Vincent. We literally don't use them. If we ever have another baby, we've got it and we'll sell them. And I had a newborn one, which I gave to someone. Again, completely pointless. I didn't use it at all. Some people do use it and some people don't. My advice is to not buy everything pre-pregnancy. Just buy the things that you really know you're going to need. And that is bottles. If you're planning on pumping, I would get a breast pump. I wouldn't pump again, but that's just my journey. I would get something for them to sleep in, but not multiple things and not multiple room things, just one thing, because they get used to that sleeping environment and they sleep comfortably there. If you want to ask in the comments below, should I get this or should I get that, like, please feel free to ask and I'll give you my advice. Other people might have different advice, but for me, I'll tell you whether we used it or not. The stuff that they have honestly takes over the whole house. When she was little, there was like no space to move for baby stuff, and even now, like, I'm surrounded by toys in every single room that I go in. I tidy them up multiple times a day and there's still Maidie stuff everywhere. I empty her pram bag, I empty everything whenever we get into the house and try and put it away. But she's like a never-ending production of stuff, and I do not understand where it all comes from. You just have to accept that your house will never be your house again, and that's good. It's her childhood home. She's now embraced fully into our little circle. I am so glad that I took so many photos, and a couple of people like took the mick out of me a little bit, as like people that I know was like, oh well, she'll definitely be able to look back on her childhood when she's little. You've documented everything. I'm so glad that I did that, because there's things now that you forget how small they were. Maidie was extra small, I understand, but you really forget. Like, we've got a little pair of her feet that we cast in, I don't know, clay, I don't know what it is, but we bought like a foot casting thing on Amazon, and I'm so glad that we did it. It didn't turn out perfect, it's got lumps and bumps in it, but we can have that little tiny model of her feet to remember how small she was, because every month that goes by they change so much. They adapt, they becoming new little people, and that's only in the space of 10 months. Like, can you imagine when she's 3 not having this stuff to look back on from when was tiny? Like, I cannot even imagine not having it. I'm really glad that we documented in video, even if you're not putting it online, just taking videos, taking photos, doing all of that. Like, please try your hardest. Even when you feel like absolute death, just take a photo, even if it's of them or of dad or whatever. It's my favorite thing that we did with her. So I have a list of stuff that I've written down, and I'm laughing at myself because this one is a really funny one. You will become obsessed with their bodily fluids. You will become obsessed with baby poo. The way it smells, the way it looks, how often it comes out, the texture, everything. Like, you will genuinely call your partner in from the other room and be like, look at this poo. And it's okay. It's so okay to be obsessed with her poo. I remember the first time she did like a solid poo, I was like, Dad, get in here. She's done her first nugget. Like, it's such a big thing. It is ridiculous, I'm fully aware, but it's something that you do have to get used to. Baby poo, baby fluids, bodily fluids. I'm okay with bodily fluids as a person, like, they don't bother me that much. If someone's been sick at a wedding, doesn't bother me at all. I can happily clean it up. Vince hates bodily fluids, and it's something, like, he was changing a nappy earlier and he's put his hand in the poo and he was like, I got poo in my hand. It is what it is. You're just gonna have to get used to it, unfortunately. That's one of those things that doesn't get better. That is genuinely isn't getting any better, because soon she'll be having a poo on the toilet and expecting me to wipe her bottom anyway. So, okay, we're gonna end on a few cute ones here. The love that you are about to feel when this baby arrives is genuinely undescribable, and it's okay if you don't get there straight away. Having a C-section quite unexpectedly, with my body not being ready to give birth at all, meant that it took me a few days, I would say, to even accept that she wasn't in my tummy anymore. I remember lying in the hospital bed, still numb from my C-section, putting my hand on my tummy, like waiting to feel her kick, and then being like, oh, wait, she's not in there anymore. She's now out in the world. And at this point, I hadn't even held her. Such a rocky start. But it genuinely took me a few days of I pushed through it mentally for her, because I knew that she needed me. She needed my scent. She needed everything that I could give even if I didn't think I could give it myself at that time. So I really pushed through those feelings of, is this even my baby? Because my baby's still inside me. And it took me probably 3 days, I'd say, to really accept that she was my baby. And it's not that I didn't instantly love her, because I did. Like, I instantly, the moment I put eyes on her, adored her. But it just, for some reason, took a few days for my brain to click into being like, wait, she's not there now, she's there. And I think partly of that is because she just wasn't with me 24/7. I'd be able to, I wouldn't want to, but I'd have to walk away from her at times to eat, to bathe, to have medication, to do any of that kind of stuff, to pump. I'd have to leave. And when I left her in there, it didn't feel like I'd left her. It felt like she was still in my tummy. It's so hard to explain. But the love, especially once it kicks in and my body had fully accepted it, my hormones was up and down, is the most all-consuming feeling I've ever felt in my life. And even at 10 months now, if she's with someone else or someone's doing something with her or something or anything, I'm just like, no, wait, she's my baby. I get to decide what's happening with her. Give her back to me. Not in a possessive way, in a way that is, and this isn't with her dad, it's with other people, in a way that's like, I know what's best for her because our bodies talk to each other. And that is something that I had not anticipating being quite so intense. I'm not sure that fully makes sense, but hopefully you kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say. On that note, your whole world and your whole existence and your whole reason for living and your whole version of life that you had before flips instantly. It flips overnight. You become an entirely different person. And it's really okay to mourn yourself, your previous version of yourself, because you've gone from person A to person Z, literally overnight, within hours sometimes. From being in labour, I wasn't in labour, but pre-C-section to post-C-section, I was such a different person. It's genuinely indescribable. There's no other way to describe it, but be prepared for a feeling that you are not anticipating, because I didn't anticipate. I thought, I'd been ready for children my whole life. She's going to fit in with our lives. It's just going to be easy breezy. I'm just going to carry on being me. I'm going to carry on just living my life as I do, but she's going to come and slot in with us. That was not the case for us at all. She does slot into our lives, but I am now such a different person. And I think Vince probably is as well. We as a couple have become such mum and dad vibes that what we enjoyed doing before isn't necessarily what we enjoy doing now. And yes, we enjoy it sometimes, but even when you're there, you're thinking, I'd quite like to be back with my baby actually. I did spend a bit of time mourning that version of life, and I found, not at first, I would say probably about 3 or 4 months in, found myself being like, whoa, I'm different. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. I am not me anymore. I'm going to have to figure out who I am now. And do I feel comfortable with who I am? All of it's hormonal. So your hormones still at 10.5 months are adjusting. You're still going through ups and downs, figuring it out. You've got the whole return to work situation to come up. We won't talk about that one today, okay? We're going to end on one final thing. The days are so long, but the months go so fast. What feels like the worst thing in the world, or what feels like she hasn't slept for a week, can so quickly change, and you can so quickly feel like you're in a new version of motherhood. Yet when you're in those moments, it feels like it's never going to end. That tiny, tiny little baby who slept on me all day, who did 2-hour naps in her fabric carrier on me, feel like a minute ago. Yet then when we were there, those times felt like they just dragged out so much. It felt like when we were sat on the sofa and she wouldn't sleep anywhere else but on me, and I was just desperate for a half an hour of her just not sleeping on me. Just give me some time to myself, please. They feel like a distant memory and like a minute ago. Things change so fast, but when you're in the moment, it feels like it's gonna take forever. It feels like this is the new version of your life. You're never going to get through this. You're never going to get to the other side. Nothing's ever going to change. But I promise you, it gets so much better every single day. She grows into this new tiny little version of her. At the same time, I would go back and take one of those cuddles on the sofa, those 2-hour naps of her on me when I couldn't move. I would take one of those naps over anything. I really miss those. So cherish them every single moment that you can. And maybe they'll come back. But right now, I'd give anything for a little baby cuddle nap. I really hope you have found this video useful. If you're watching this and you are a mama already, please pop anything that I have missed down below. Or if you are first-time mama to be, please put any questions in and I will answer them. There's this new feature on YouTube called Hype. If you're on your phone or if you're watching on your TV, then please head over to your phone. Under the video, there's the comments section. If you swipe across on the comment section, it will take you to Hype. You get 3 hypes a day. My videos get about 2,700 points from a hype, and I still haven't figured out whether that's just my video or whether that's weighted. Comments and subscriptions are still super important, so please subscribe if you're not already. But comments and likes used to be the most valuable indicator to YouTube that you were interested in the video and that it needed to show it to other people like you. However, now this new hype button helps immensely. I've seen YouTubers explode recently because people have got them in the top hyped list. So if you can, just give it a little swipe across, press the hype button. It would mean the absolute world to me. Thank you for being here. I'm going to see you back here in a few days for another little vlog vibe. Love you. Bye.